Here's part 5 of Woom. So to be vague, Angel pulls out a very large plug of sorts that inserts in a when a mommy and daddy love each other. It goes in a lady area, and they just get bigger and bigger, and they kind of look like a human fist. Charlotte didn't mind, my girl. And as Angel puts this thing inside of Shyla, he goes, "Do you mind if I tell you more stories?" It's so casual, but yet so intimate. Which is bizarre because Angel didn't seem to get any sexual gratification from it. It was just, he acted like it was a part of his job. It was a mundane activity. So as he's kind of inserting this thing, and Shyla's just like, "Yeah, this is normal," and Angel's just like, "Do you mind if I tell you more stories?" Yeah, I mean, just no more poop stories, please. "And how do you know these stories? You said you were friends with some of them?" "Well, yeah, sort of. The motel told me." "The motel told you?" "Yeah, the walls kind of speak to me sometimes." "That is some serial killer shit, Angel. I hope you're joking. I feel quite close to this inanimate object, if I'm being honest." "Okay, alright." So anyway, the next story is about Mary. Mary was sexually assaulted. Whoa. Before you continue with that story, Angel, I'm not okay with R-word stories. I don't like that. It's a little too close to home. Okay, I understand. I won't continue with that, but it is very pertinent to the story, okay? Okay, but if you just, respect my boundaries, I don't want to hear any details about assault like that. So he told Shyla about a woman named Mary, who was a good Christian girl. She was married with a husband. Unfortunately, she was taken advantage of by somebody, and she fell pregnant. Now, because of her belief and her morals, she wanted to keep the baby, but Mary's husband did not. They ended up divorcing because of it. Even though the assault was not Mary's fault in the slightest, she knew her pregnancy was her responsibility. But as the trimesters went along, she became violently depressed to the point of needing to unalive herself. So, in the light of the divorce, losing her friends, the public lost respect in Mary because, she was a good Christian girl, and how could she do this? Because they blamed her for some fucking reason. She came to that very motel that they're in, to room 6. And as Mary booked the room, she asked about wire hangers being featured in the room. What a weird request, thought the employees of the motel, but they thought nothing of it. Mary came into the room and wrote a long letter to her unborn child, detailing how cruel and unforgiving this world is. And as much as she loved him and felt so bad about his unplanned existence, she needed to be free. It is not the child's fault in the slightest. The world is just cruel. The world hates everybody, and no one is safe. She ended the letter, "Love, Mom." She found the wire hangers, and I'm sure you know where this is going because she went into the bathroom and tried to perform her own abortion. Unfortunately, the story ended by her slipping on her own blood, and she hit her head very hard on the faucet and died in the bathtub. Her body was found a couple days later, and the child had been born alive. After that story was over, Shyla was so uncomfortable. She's like, "I really hate this story. I don't want to hear any more about that." So Shyla began to open up about her own personal life. I was taken advantage of when I was in high school. I was not attractive, I was really shy, and one of the hottest guys, one of the biggest jocks in high school, invited me to go see a brand new movie that came out. I think it was Godzilla. Why he invited me out became very clear when I got there. I won't get too much into it, but he pretty much planned this. He brought 2 of his other friends that met Shyla in the back of the movie theater, and they violently abused her for hours. They left her for dead behind the dumpster of the movie theater. There was a lot of damage internally where she can no longer have kids because they used objects to rupture her uterus. So she's like, I just physically cannot have children. And I've worked through a lot of therapy to get over it, but I know it's not my fault. I had hopes that somebody respected me enough to actually want to get to know me, and he had not. My assaulters didn't face any form of consequence because they were just, boys will be boys. That's what I was told. Angel felt so bad for her, and he's like, thank you for feeling vulnerable enough to talk to me about this, because I'm sure this is really hard for you. And she's like, yeah, it was in the past, and I've come to terms with it because I'm so much stronger now, and I know my worth. And Angel began to ask her, like, do you feel safe here? Do you think I'm gonna hurt you at all? And Shyla began to describe, like, I've been to a lot of different meetings with a lot of different clients, and I'll tell you right now, as soon as you shook my hand, that was a red flag. Because the last time any John shook my hand, he tried to violently strangle me, and he pushed my boundaries after I said no. As well as if Johns try to meet in a location that we did not discuss, big red flag. But honestly, I feel really safe here with you. Like, I don't feel any need to leave.